Boom, boom, ba. Boom, 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 ba. Aye, aye. And again, to the white people, I will try and explain what that means. That means boom, boom, ba. Boom, 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 ba. Aye, aye.
The biggest new school musician right now, Nyashinsky, is from the old school.
The old school music era was so bad that Nyashinsky had to go to the US and become a truck driver for 10 years in the hope that he will come and find everyone they were working with retired so that he can join the new school music industry, ladies and gentlemen.
The next portion of the show, the next portion of the comedy debate, is the question, is old school music the heart of Kenya? We're diving deep into the rhythms that define our nation. From the classic tunes that our parents raised us on, to the modern beats that echo in our streets. I like the songs written by white dudes. Classic, my land is Kenya, from Highly... Okay, we got it. So, having said that, to define if old school music is the heart of Kenya, please welcome our first debater, Mike One. Mike One is coming. All right, you prefer that mic, obviously. Okay.
Coming with a bang.
Coming in with a bang. All right, good. Thank you for bringing the energy. Also, now we have Maina Munene. Two passionate debaters to champion their sides. One will argue that old school music is the beating heart of culture, while the other will defend the vibrancy and innovative, I can't even read this word, of new school music. No, your new school music. Your new school music. Let's see which side will sway your hearts and our ears. So, our first debater with opening remarks. Who's starting first? It will be you. To represent the old school. Ladies and gentlemen, opening remarks by our friend, Mike One. Clap your hands for Mike. Clap your hands for Mike.
Vitisho vya peni mbili. Vitanifanya nini mimi? Asante Baba kwa kunisaidia kujua. Ukiotesha mazuri, mazuri utavuna. Yule kijana alikuwa akikaa jobless corner, akisaga gomba, ijapokuwa amesoma. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the soundtrack to a proper childhood. Old school music. I did not even love Isa. I did not love Isa. I was Isa. Woo. Try to walk profound. Clap it up if you... Hey, try. I did not love Isa. I was Isa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, engage me. How did we go from that to nipe, ni chape, 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 ni setie, ni shande, shande? The standard has fallen, ladies and gentlemen. Take note, take note. Think about this. Isa was such a good musician, he gave us Habib. Isa handed his brother Habib a music career. We didn't give a fuck who Habib was, but because we loved Isa, we gave him a chance. Yeah? He handed him a career on a platter. That's like if my brother died, but his boss continued to send me his salary. Think about that. That's Isa. That's old school music. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Isa died young. K-Rapt died young. Biggie Smalls died young. Tupac died young. There's a trend emerging. There seems to be a pattern. Good artistry is synonymous with dying young. None of these new school artists is dropping dead. None of them. These people are young, they are vibrant, they are healthy. That's how you know the music is awful. How are you an artist without even NHIF? They are too confident. Good music is synonymous with dying young. Let's talk about jobs. Jobs are the backbone of every good economy. Any decent country, you need jobs. Old school musicians were so good. DJing became a career. DJ Pinye, DJ Hypnotic, DJ Styles, DJ Catrix. All these people made their names because of how good the music was. And the old school musicians were grateful to the DJs. They were grateful to them. They realized how much of a critical role the DJs played and even made songs to hype up the DJs. Hey DJ, weka ngoma, tumeka kukatika mpaka
che.
Clap it up for yourself. Proper performance. That's not the case today. DJs are bored. DJs have become lazy. They are idle and neglected. DJs are so bored. DJ John Falme is out killing police officers.
Oh my God.
Make good music, save lives.
Easy.
The police officer would still be alive if the music was good, because DJ Mfalme would be busy. Jobs, ladies and gentlemen, jobs. Let's talk about image and branding. Now, I didn't want to go here. This is a cheap one, but the argument just lends itself. I didn't want to go there, but honestly, old school musicians were at least handsome. They were at least handsome. These men were groomed. They were refined. Think about it. Red Sun was in shape. Waire was the love child. In today's music, the biggest sex symbol is Steve-O Simple Boy. Who I love. I love him. But Freshie Barida is not crossing the border. Steve-O Simple Boy should be complimenting, adding, not the main act. I love him. Guys, let's talk about safety and security. Safety and security. Old school music was very disarming and non-threatening. Very disarming, good music. Twende tukawake, tupitie South Sea. Clap it up for yourselves again. Great musical performance by this crowd. Non-threatening music. That's not the case today. Mbogi Genje, sini Mbogi Genje. Tunataka picha ya Kenyatta kwa Walenje. I listened to Mbogi Genje for an hour. When I was done, my phone was missing. Every time I listen to them, I have to check, is it my wallet? Is it my phone? The music is too threatening. I need to unwind. Safety and security, people. Safety and security. And here's a quick one by the old school musicians. They had some kind of decency. They were decent. Like the ones who are bad artists made it up for their bad music by doing other things. Here's an example. Prezzo. Prezzo was horrible and he knew it. But when Chaguo Latinis came along, he pulled up in a chopper and all was forgiven. The point I'm trying to make is you can be bad, just be rich. Accountability. Accountability. Old school music encouraged maturity and accountability. It takes a real artist to reflect and say, kumbe ni under 18. Sami ningejuaje. That's a reflective man. Is he trying to commit a crime? No, he's not. He's reflecting. That's accountability, ladies and gentlemen. You don't run from your mistakes. That's a real man. And then he goes, kumbe ni under 18. Venye anapewa maji. Fair point. That's a decent argument. How is she so drunk if she's so young at the same time? Kumbe ni under 18. Sijui itakuwaje. This guy admits, my fate is not in my hand. Kumbe ni under 18. Nitambiaje jaji. This is a cry for help. This is a man in his true self, admitting to what he did, reflecting. Real music, ladies and gentlemen, real music. Don't sweep your problems under the rug. Face them like a real man. Jim Watt. Yeah. Let's talk about messaging. Messaging. This is a bit of a serious one. When this country stared into the abyss and we were hanging in the balance in 2007, Eric Wainaina rose from amongst us. Mm-hmm. Clap for him, please. He rose from amongst us and he serenaded the whole country with Daima Minim Kenya. Mwananchi. Can you guys imagine if this was 2007 and all you can hear on the radio is Anguka Nai? Kaende sana. No. Women in arts. Make some noise, ladies. Women in arts. The women in the old school were women after my own heart, man. Female musicians back in the day were real women. They understood what men want. They were very perceptive, very intuitive. You did not need to tell them anything. They knew the route to take. What better way for a woman to start a song than by singing, Machali leo hamtalala. I don't even know what that meant. I don't know what she was trying to go, what she was trying to do, but I love it. It sounded good to me, you know? I agree, whoever you are, lady. Sitaki kulala. Beating the odds. Old school musicians were very resourceful. They made it out of impossible backgrounds, and they even made songs about this. Positive messaging for the youth. You know? Nawase tumetoka Githurai. One more time. Nawase tumetoka Githurai. Now think about this. Is anyone here from Githurai? Exactly. It's not easy kutoka Githurai. But this gentleman did. Applaud this gentleman, man. You don't just leave Githurai. It's not an easy thing to do. That's a positive, uplifting message. Very inspiring song to me. And let's talk about masculinity. These new artists they're a weird bunch. They're not real men of traditional masculinity. What grown man will start a song by saying, wanauliza niko wapi, niko Rurashio? As if that's not enough. 5 comrades will parade in Roysambu and assemble as men and start a song by saying, tenda wema pewa tako. Men should not start the song singing like this. We need to encourage proper masculinity. Something is wrong. You're right. What's your name, sir? Daniel. You're right. Something is not adding up. Can we talk about the family? The family unit, the most basic unit in any society. Old school music encouraged building families and building homes. The music was so good, Wahoo agreed to marry Nameless. Who is not a handsome man, by the way? Not that I know, I was told. I clearly can't tell. But it turns out Nameless needed the music career to impress Wahoo. But Wahoo married him still, and the marriage survived. Who's getting married in this day and age? They are not encouraging families. As I finish,
my
last
God,
point.
How many points do you have? It's like a dissertation. Are you going to be able to handle any of
Wamepanga
this?
kunimaliza. Unaona wameanza kuongea wawili. This gentleman should be impartial. I'm finishing.
Okay.
My last point. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't disappear and never be found like Caesars, you're not a good artist. Who the fuck knows where Caesars went? If you cannot disappear and never be found like Caesars, you're not a good artist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot give out security tips in your song, niaje, hachukui simu, na tumekuja Kenko musiku, you're not a real artist. Security tips, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, Mike 1, that was intense. All right, and to try to prove that it's the heart of Kenya is not found in the past, but is alive and thriving in the fresh sounds of today, with a passion for innovation, catchy beats, a flair for the contemporary, put your hands together for the opening statements of Maina Munene.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you don't have to reply to all of what he said. Jesus.
I will do that when the time is right. Thank you so much. Give it up for the host. Looking like a makanga from Rongai, who went to private school. And also my very, I don't want to say unworthy, but my opponent here, who I think was trying to rap in the beginning of his presentation. And that didn't work out well for you. Yeah. So I'm going to keep mine short and sweet.
Like Vic.
Yeah, man. Like in the wise words of Sauti Soul, they said, I'ma keep it short and sweet. DJ play the song on repeat. Odi odi dance to the beat. Hapo lipo kamatana feels so sweet. That's how you attempt to sing or rap. Just to be clear. Hopefully you get a second chance at doing that.
You see how new people, that passed for singing.
Oh, man. But I want to start by saying, are we moving forward or moving backwards? I think we can all agree we're moving forward. Saying that old school Kenyan music is a heartbeat of Kenya is like saying your TBT photo of 2005 should be posted every day on your Instagram. I mean, you've grown some ass now, you're legal. You're over 18 now, you know. So I'm going to argue and say that we should only reserve old school Kenyan music for Thursdays. Because it's throwback Thursdays. Yeah, thank you one person who clapped. And also I have beef with everyone else who's not clapping right now. Because you guys have to agree with me that old school Kenyan music did not have range. What do I mean by this? Old school Kenyan music was always about getting drunk for some weird reason in Githurai and hooking up with chicks. But new school Kenyan music has more range. They talk about more topics. They talk about smoking weed and hooking up with chicks. That is growth, in my opinion. Old school Kenyan musicians did not have dreams, ambitions, or even aspirations. I'm gonna interest you in the works of modern day philosophers, Brooklyn boys, who in their hit song Kutoka Kwa Block sang Nilikamna dream ya kutoka kwa block, yani ku get rich, niomoke in short, nikilala muachia maisha yangu kwa mikono ya God. Those are artists who want to leave the block. Old school Kenyan musician would just tell us about their shitty day. Usiniharibie siku bana landlord. Umenifika kwenye ko, when it tafash too. And they would proceed and tell us, stima imekatwa, maji imekatwa, hakuna tofauti na kuishi kwa kichaka. And I'm like, I think you should get a job, bro. This music thing is not working out for you. I think you're forcing issues. Which brings me to my next point. Old school Kenyan musician were lazy. I know it's a controversial statement, but I will explain. You could tell they were lazy even from their lyrics. They had songs like una jump, una ruka, una shida zina shuka, una hauna. First of all, what do you mean I have and then I don't have? Like, can you make up your mind? Do I have it or do I not have it? Because if I have it, then I should keep it. And if I don't, then I shouldn't. And they used to waste so much time repeating the same thing in their songs. Like the one artist who my opponent has kept referencing for the whole debate. And I think he has learned that from them. He's been wasting a lot of time explaining the same point over and over, you know. There's another song by Nonini called Nico Gage, where he says, Nico Gage, Nico Maji, Nico Ro. And for the white people in the audience, I'll try and explain what that means in English. It means I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. And last but not least, I'm drunk. Just say it once. This is the biggest hit of the old school Kenyan music era. It's called Boomba Train. Yeah. And the musician goes, boom, boom, ba. Boom, 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 ba. Ay, ay, boom, boom, ba. Boom, ba, boom, ba, ah. And again, to the white people, I will try and explain what that means. That means boom, boom, ba. Boom, 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 ba. Ay, ay, boom, boom, ba. Boom, ba, boom, ba, ah. I'm sure you get the idea. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bad. Not bad. It's okay. Hey.
And the ones, I still have 2 more points.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Is the judge trying to be unfair? What's going on right
I
now?
thought you made your point pretty well. It's boom, 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 boom.
And the ones who are not so lazy to keep repeating the same word in their songs would burden us, the audience, with things we need to do as if we didn't already have things to do. Kila kitu nitawaambia leo, nataka mnijibu tu kiasi. You think we don't have other things to do? You know. Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Okay, assuming we tell you to siendelee, will you stop? Old school Kenyan musicians did not see the bigger picture. They were very shallow, for lack of a better word. Nonini and Nameless, who are arguably the biggest names in Kenyan music, sang a song called Furahi Day. And it was not until new school Kenyan musician Dante's 254, Odi wa Moranga, and Trio Mio figured, why sing a song about one day of the week when you could sing a song about the whole week? Ati Monday ni kazi, Tuesday ni katu Monday, Wednesday si jolly, Thursday nangoja to Friday, oh la 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 la. That is an artist who sees the bigger picture. This is how bad Kenyan music industry was doing back in the day. There was only 2 record labels. Caliph Records and Ogopa DJs. And if you've seen the Ogopa DJs logo, that's the visual representation of what was going on through the Kenyan music industry. The logo is just there like... Even the logo was surprised at the low quality that they were producing back then. It was so bad, this one artist sang a song called Narudi Ocha. It's unfortunate to announce that Alirudi Ocha. He went back to Ocha. Also, old school musicians did not understand the art of branding, unlike what my opponent has said. They had weird names. Like, I feel like Juakali and Red Sun were aiming for the sun, but they ended up in South Sea. The only person in the old school Kenyan music industry who chose a song that was representative of their music career was Nyota Ndogo. I withdraw, and that's my submission, ladies and gentlemen. Nivo.
Oh. Very nice, the 2 of you. Okay, I hope you made plenty of notes, Mike. Because now it's time for a rebuttal. Give you point by point. You can take the whole time in one chunk, or you guys can go back and forth.
Maina has paid goons. Nasikia mkipiga nduru kwenye maono umeleta goons. Ladies and gentlemen, my very worthy competitor, he said, Niko Gauge, Niko Maji, Niko is poor artistry because of repetition. Now, I argue this is actually proper artistry because repetition creates rhythm. Every big artist has done it before him. Party after party. Party after party. Proper music to me, if you ask me. Now, I am ahead of my time with this whole debate. I will be vindicated in this debate because eventually, all new school music that he's arguing for will eventually become old school. So in real sense, he's arguing
guys,
for
it's
me.
A wrap.
But just before I can make the arguments, thank you, Maina. Maina also said, Kenyan music back then had no range, and it was all about drinking in Githurai. Now, first of all, what's wrong with drinking in Githurai?
Everything, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, what's wrong with drinking in Githurai?
You will lose your phone.
Where else can you find good motura that you can share with a light-skinned girl called Modhoni?
That's a fair point, to be honest.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Where else can you find good mutura to share with a light-skinned girl called Modhoni? Githurai is the place, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he also said old school musicians were lacking in vision. How does that compute when, if you really think about it, the biggest new school musician right now, Nyashinsky, is from the old school? Old school is the way to go. Those are my rebuttals. Thank you.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. And I think my opponent accidentally conceded to this debate. And I hope you were paying attention and you heard that, because that will come into play when we are voting. My opponent talked a big game about Issa being one of the pioneers of the old school Kenyan music industry. But what my opponent does not know, and what most of you do not know, is Issa chose death over the Kenyan music industry.
Sasa si ameenda sana, judge. Hiyo si ya withdraw. Withdraw hiyo ndugu yangu tafadhali.
I withdraw, ladies.
As I said before,
I withdraw,
death
ladies.
and good artistry is synonymous.
I withdraw,
He
ladies.
died because he was good. Withdraw hiyo.
I withdraw.
Haki yetu. Haki yetu.
He's paid goons as well. Let me take that point again. He talked about Nyashinsky, and he said Nyashinsky is from the old school music era. The old school music era was so bad that Nyashinsky had to go to the US and become a truck driver for 10 years in the hope that he will come and find everyone they were working with retired so that he can join the new school music industry, ladies and gentlemen. My opponent, ladies and gentlemen, also said how the old school music industry created jobs for DJs. And I agree. But we have to ask ourselves, at what cost? There is literally an old school Kenyan music artist who made a song about the same issue he's talking about. Demu wangu amemnuki DJ, amemnuki DJ.
Stop singing old school songs.
Listen.
Every old school song he's singing, you're singing along. I even new school.
Should DJs come and at the expense of artists? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. And I do not even need your answer right now. Think about that when you're voting.
You're politicking again.
I withdraw the
Ni
voting.
wizi umeanza wewe.
He also said how old school musicians were good looking. I think he has never seen Jua Kali.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
He also talked about accountability and talked about how Jimoat, who sang the under 18 song, could not have known that she was under 18. She had maziwa ya nyayo in her bag. That's all he needed to do. Also, I feel like he confessed in that song. Like, that's the kind of shit that gets you in jail.
Accountability.
Yeah, they were not too smart, those people. He also said about how the old school music, what was that line you said about Machali? Can you sing it?
No, I'm not falling into that trap. He wants me to walk into some trap.
No, he said...
I was born, but not last night.
No, go ahead.
The line is Machali, Leo, Hamtalala. You know why Machali, Leo, Hamtalala? Ju atakugei uchape chape. Chape chape akusetie ushande shande. Shande shande. Hey! That's the power of new school music. It overrides old school music. And finally, ladies and gentlemen,
The first new school song you guys sang along to. Everything else
he talked
was
about new school music not being muscular and manly enough and traditional enough. And I have to ask you one question. What's more traditional and manly and muscular than being in a rorashio? That's like the most muscular thing you could ever do.
I beg to differ.
Okay. And finally, I think that's all. I think I've, yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike One, and thank you, Maina. That was very nice. But now it's time to go through a lightning round. We'd like to see how you guys fare when you're going head-to-head with one-liners on tonight's topic about new school versus old school music. Question number one. Are you ready? Who wants to go first?
We can go back and forth.
You can go back. Okay. Well, of course. One of us has to go first. You all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Okay. All right.
Moderator ni
No
mkali for
drugs
what?
during the show. That's what a Kenyan artist once said.
Cheki Mona Lisa navyotingisha nami nimebaki nime.
A Kenyan artist once
Everything
said.
is old school. Kamisi yo, kamisi. Kamisi na baika uliacha na nusanga
ndo nilale. Usilete kompe kwanza kwa demu yangu manze. Aise usinilete yoni mali yangu. Hey!
Ati Wanjira ko single, mimi niko single pia. Canada kutoa panty, mbona interfere?
New school music, ladies and gentlemen.
Sasa kichukua old school, he's encroaching. I have to do the work for him.
Move on. All right, so number 2, we have, here's a question. Give me your best producer tags.
Promoter.
Promoter tags. You'd rather do promoter? All right. Maybe I'm wrong this time. Maybe. Best promoter tags, Maina.
Perform tu tutakulipa next week.
Sahi M-Pesa ziko down, lakini ndaona mambo yako.
Si hata wewe umeona sponsor amepull out, sasa tutafanya nini?
Hebu nikumbushe jina yako tena bro.
Hii ni platform nzuri kuperform.
Do it for exposure, brother.
All right, so, okay, one more. We're going to give these guys one more question to answer. And this one's going to be good. And maybe all the audience could also reminisce. Song you lost your virginity to.
Kumbe ni under 18. I withdraw.
Withdraw? Did he withdraw?
For the record, I'm still a virgin. But in case anyone is feeling generous tonight, anguka nayo. That's my jam. Muhadhara by Jimmy Gate.
Mana kungwa kwangu mami. Dona kuimbia mama.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much. Clap your hands for the lightning round. I lost my virginity in church. Up from the grave he arose. All right. All right. So, tell you what, guys. It's a close call. The audience right now, how you feeling? How you feeling about over here? Are you feeling this? How you feeling over here? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. By the way, no one said boo. That was nice. So, let's give our final arguments. Old school versus new school. Mike, I'd like you to begin.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this should not be a hard one. Come on. It's those ones that are very contentious. This is not one of them. We all love to look back and feel happy, feel nostalgic. So make the right choice. Pick old school music. Thank you.
Wow. Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, we agree and respect the contribution of the old school Kenyan music and the foundation that they laid for the new crop of artists who speak to our emotions and feelings. There's a place for old school Kenyan music every Thursday for Throwback Thursdays. But all the other days of the week, ladies and gentlemen, we listen to some good new school Kenyan music that has range and speaks to us. Thank you very much.
All right, those are fantastic closing arguments, and I believe the audience has already decided. Let's do it this way. This is going to be the sound. If you believe that new school is greater than old school, make some noise. If you believe that old school music is better than new school... Oh, my arm. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Old school. Old school. And coming from a host that looks like Michael Bolton, I might agree. All right, yeah, that's a very sad. All right. Thank you very much. My condolences. You are a loser, and you, my friend, are a master
I'm proud
debater.
of you people.
Master debater.
I'm proud of each one of you.